Alrighty, so today is Taco Tuesday. Happy Taco Tuesday to everyone out there. I'm going to have some beef tacos for lunch. I honestly can't wait. If you have not taken my offer up on the shrimp scampi tacos, you are missing out. Who doesn't love some grilled shrimp? Or you can actually do some cold shrimp as well too. Get maybe some avocado oil or mash up an avocado and then put some avocado, chopped up some lettuce, some tomatoes, some onions. Oh man, it's so good. I actually have not had the cold shrimp tacos. I got to try that maybe next week. But I'm telling you, man, shrimp scampi tacos, butter, grilled shrimp, lettuce, tomato, diced onions. Oh man, it's so good in the tummy. Today, we're going to be talking about a lot regarding cryptocurrency. So welcome if you are new to this YouTube channel. I put out videos Monday through Friday. Educational content is going to be on Saturdays, where I basically just go over history. I go over pretty much the market when it comes to following trends, historical data, also pretty much stuff around investing 101. I'm an American bull. I love my country, America. I'm a long-term investor in many companies. I also do have some shorter-term investment opportunities that I really see fit as well too. But overall, I tend to really talk about like long-term investing very much in the next several years when it comes to a lot of my positions. I'm also doing a public account profile challenge that I will be going over in this YouTube video. But today, I kind of really want to talk about Coinbase. I want to talk a little bit about cryptocurrency. I want to talk a little bit about the Clarity Act. I don't like involving politics on this YouTube channel because this YouTube channel is not designed to be a political YouTube channel. But when there is politics at play, you can't ignore them and you got to talk about them. Obviously, there is something happening regarding cryptocurrency, which the Republican Party is very much in favor for. So it very much is affecting assets that I own, such as crypto, and also pretty much Coinbase, which is a brokerage to cryptocurrency, pretty much. So you kind of really got to dive into them. But I keep things very real. I read stuff very factual. I don't really sway on one or two sides, if that makes sense. So it doesn't really matter what your political views are. You could be left, right, pretty much in the middle, pretty much like me almost. And you basically pretty much get like try to really do like a non-biased really approach. But it really does suck because I do understand a lot of people are just really sick and tired of politics. And to be honest, I am too. Although we got midterms coming up, which are going to be more politics, you know, and then next year you're going to see people starting to run for president. It's like, oh man, can we ever get a break? We get like maybe 1 year where we don't like get like advertisements from people for running for office. It's crazy. Not to mention I keep this YouTube channel very real. Real talk is best talk in my opinion. I don't really do a lot of editing on here. I don't really show a lot of fancy dancy like AI images and stuff. I really believe when it comes to talking about stuff that you're passionate, you should be able to do real talk. A lot of people sometimes cannot, but I've been on YouTube for many years now, and I've given a lot of commentary on videos. I have a main YouTube channel, Nightmare RH, 200,000 plus subscribers. It's a gaming channel. And my 18 years making video game content, I just started now like publicly advertising this channel, where I started really putting videos on here back in November of last year. And my gaming viewers really, not a lot of people want a lot to do with the stock market because the stock market is very scary. People look at stocks like Robinhood, AMD, and they're like, I don't get it. How can we have a stock like Robinhood where we are literally up and down by 5% pretty much like every single day, right? One day we're up by 5%, one day we're down by 5%. You know, what is this? It's like a roller coaster ride. Same thing with AMD. 1 minute we're up, 1 minute we're down, we're crashing, everything is going crazy. Sell everything. The chips are crashing, right? A lot of people they don't want to hang on for the roller coaster ride, and I completely understand. I'm 38. I've been in the market now since I was 31. During March of 2020, Rona is when I got in the market, and I have been in the market in the last 6 and some months, almost 6.5 years. I have not left the market. I stayed in the market after the bull cycle, the inflation super duper stimulus bull cycle of 20 and 21. I stayed in the market during 2022 drawdown, 23, 24, Liberation Day last year, and now I'm in the market. I'm buying more stock than ever. So my philosophy when it comes around the stock market is that if you're going to be in this game, you gotta endure the roller coaster. If the roller coaster ride is not for you, you gotta find what is for you when it comes to building monetary wealth. My life has been very much transformed financially when it comes to wealth, because when I go out on vacation, which I was on vacation several weeks ago, when I go on vacation, I don't worry about spending money. When I go shopping, I don't worry about spending money. Like money for me is very not it doesn't really faze me. I was actually on vacation. I had my dog with me as well. So I was staying in a couple hotels, and it was a little bit expensive. I stayed at the Hilton. One of the places that I went to in the Carolinas, actually the Hiltons were booked, so I had to stay at their sister, which is the Hampton Inn. Still great, luxurious hotel. But I had my dog with me. It was $75 extra to have a dog. You're talking about one night. It was like near 250 to maybe $300 for a hotel. Yeah, that's friggin' expensive, right? It definitely isn't like the old days where you can stay at a Hilton for like $80, $90. And I'm a friggin' Hilton's Honors member. Not to mention I'm a veteran, so I do qualify for some discounts as well. And I'm also a AAA member. But even with like discounts, it's still like fairly expensive. $300 for like a night in a hotel, and then you times that by like 5 or 6. It adds up very, very quickly. However, if you're able to build monetary wealth, that number just, it doesn't faze you. It really doesn't. And that's what the stock market has really done for me in the last 6.5 years. And for anyone out there that is very new to the stock market, or might be very, very wondering if the stock market's a scam, understand that if you stick with it, and you do your due diligence, and you make the right moves, you could very much not worry about money like maybe you did many, many years ago. And the biggest mistake that I've made is during my 20s, when I just chose to work very, very hard, and I chose to keep all my money in savings and checkings accounts, and it really didn't do anything for me. The last 6 years, it's done a lot for me by being in the market. So please take that not like me having like kind of really pushing, like my own accomplishments. It's very much motivation. You can go from a couple 3 figs to a couple 4 figs in the market. You can go from a couple 4 to 5. You can go from 5 to 6, 6 to 7, etc., etc. People do this all the time. All the time. It's just, you gotta endure the pain. Okay, so motivational talk pretty much over. Oh man, that was definitely longer than I really wanted to. Coinbase, one of my stocks that I actually recently started buying. So like I said, I'm doing a public account profile challenge on this YouTube channel. I made a profile designated for this YouTube channel, and pretty much it is rock and rolling. This account challenge to 6 figures was started 2 January officially of this year. Initially, it was 18 months, and then I kept depositing more and more money into this account. So I had to bring it down to 17 months. And I still have quite a bit of money left to deposit into the account. But I've deposited so much. I was depositing $500 per month. And then I said, okay, I got to step up my game because the market was selling off like crazy. During the month of February, I was actually buying stock like crazy, publicly and privately. That month alone, I probably bought over 15, maybe even honestly near $20,000 worth of stock. A lot of stock because the market was falling off. So I have taken losses on this public account so far. I ended up taking a $2,000 loss on Adobe a couple weeks ago, and I sold Adobe. The reason I sold Adobe is because the management team is pretty much changing roles. I sold Adobe for $195. It's $228 right now. Hey, it is what it is. The management team, when I started buying Adobe, I didn't know that the CEO was going to leave. I also didn't know the CFO was going to leave. That changes my strategy. I'm not really looking to be hanging on to hope that the new management team is going to execute. When you invest into the company, you have to invest in the company based on your fundamental strategy, based on what your overall goals are. You have to set price targets of when you want to get in and also when you want to get out. Yeah, that's right. When you're going to get out. Getting out is actually more important than getting in. There is no such thing as buying a stock and never selling it, okay? Even the great OG Warren Buffett, he is a super, super long-term investor, but the guy has sold his favorite stocks. There is going to be a day where I'm going to sell some SoFi shares. Now, I plan on holding SoFi for the next decade because the management team it's given me and people a decade outlook. Very much. But when I start selling SoFi shares, I'm not going to sell my entire position. AMD, I have a price target in mind that I'm going to start selling some shares. Am I going to sell my entire thing like that? No, I'm not looking to trade AMD. If I was looking to trade AMD, I would have sold the thing when I was up by 100%. Okay? I'm not looking to trade AMD. I'm an investor in AMD. AMD for me, honestly, when I'm going to start selling some shares, probably about 1,000, maybe even a little higher. Yeah, call me crazy. I was buying AMD during Liberation Day below $100 last year. People said AMD was going to the friggin' $40. Is AMD at $40 right now? No, not even close. Not even close. I was buying AMD shares several months ago below $200 on this YouTube channel publicly. There were some nasty people in the comment section saying, "What are you doing?" I even had one guy say, "What are you doing, kid?" Oh, okay. Well, I guess I'm a kid that can go ahead and has a good forward-thinking look. And I follow AMD, and I've been following AMD for the last several years now. And their CEO pretty much has stated, saying, "Hey, we're about to enter a chip cycle." So obviously, I'm a smart kid, right? Yeah, I can definitely say that. There's going to be a point in time where I'm going to sell, every stock that I own. Just, there is a difference between selling the entire position and taking profits, okay? There's nothing wrong with taking profits, but what is your strategy? I'm not a financial advisor, but this is more so common sense when it comes to stuff. You gotta have a strategy on how you want to get in and get out of stocks. If you're new to the market, and even if you're not new to the market, hearing this over and over again, it keeps you sharp as a fiddle. Did I say that right? Maybe I did, maybe I didn't. Keeps you very sharp. Hearing the same good thing over and over again, like if you listen to Warren Buffett over the many, many years, listening to the guy talk, you get reminded just the fundamentals of investing. And the fundamentals of investing are basically this. I ended up selling Adobe for a loss, $2,000 loss. on this account. I also took a big loss on my private account. And the thing about it is that I've rolled that money into ServiceNow. Honestly, ServiceNow's earnings are tomorrow. If ServiceNow bounces to the downside, I might have to pick up more shares of ServiceNow. I opened a new position in Coinbase. I started buying Netflix, which I bought more Netflix yesterday and also on Friday last week. And I also bought, I bought cryptocurrency for the first time since 2021, baby. Okay? So I am very bullish on cryptocurrency because I believe that we are in a cryptocurrency cycle. So why is crypto, or rather I should say, why is Coinbase pretty much going up right now? 12% on the day for Coinbase. So there's basically a lot of momentum, firstly, and it is pre-earnings. Coinbase's earnings is next week, so a lot of stocks tend to really rally before earnings. That's really nothing new. Obviously, when it comes to technical analysis, the charts are, because when it comes to fundamental analysis, earnings are going down for Coinbase. Yeah, nightmare. Why are you buying Coinbase if earnings are going down? Because cryptocurrency is in the gutter right now. You have Bitcoin very much 60,000. It's stuck right now. There's a lot of people saying Bitcoin is going to be at 30,000 by the end of this year for a Bitcoin cycle. And yes, I do believe that we are in a Bitcoin cycle. Bitcoin cycle is basically pretty much 3 years up, 1 year down. And pretty much, I've talked about this a lot. You can type this in on Google. You can watch videos on it. I don't really mean to make this video super duper long, but I have videos on this channel about the Bitcoin cycle repeating, pretty much happening, where you have cryptocurrency very much in the gutter. A lot of people are screaming, saying, no, this down cycle is different. Can it be true? Can it be true that this down cycle is different? It could be true, which is the reason why you don't see me have a massive position in cryptocurrency. It's called risk management. I'm okay having exposure to super, super risky stuff. Coinbase, it's a little risky because if Bitcoin doesn't recover, Coinbase is going down more. Very much. So Coinbase is 2.77 of this profile. Sure, I could very much buy some more Coinbase. I mean, hell, theoretically, if Ethereum were to, let's go ahead and say, go down to $1,000, I may pull the trigger and actually buy more Ethereum, but I'm only going to buy one more Ethereum. That's the level of risk that my strategy is very much exposed to crypto. That's my strategy. That's my risk management. Obviously, I'm okay having AMD because it's on a growth cycle. I'm okay having 45% of my profile being AMD. It's on a growth cycle. Earnings are going up. It's on a growth cycle. AMD could be 60% of this profile. I don't give a rat's ass because it's on a growth cycle. When I start selling AMD, obviously the position size is going to be different. But here's the thing. I'm not going to take that money and I'm not going to whip it out of this account, and I'm not going to go and, go to a casino, go on vacation, do something like that, right? I'm going to go ahead and roll that money into more investments. Pretty much keep building up my profile. What else did I want to talk about? I just lost my train of thought here. So, so cryptocurrency is very much getting a boost right now because there's a lot of talk about the Clarity Act. Pretty much, can Donald Trump ethics compromise save the Clarity Act? So this really is like not a shell shocker. And if you do support Donald Trump, this is not necessarily like a knockdown per se. The Trump family has made a lot of money around cryptocurrency because of everything they've done regarding coins, crypto, very much in 2025, a lot of people bought cryptocurrency. And a lot of people that are very much not liking, obviously, this administration, they're very much knocking this down, saying, well, the Clarity Act is another way for Donald Trump to, save money and just basically make more money and just stuff like that, right? Is it going to ultimately save cryptocurrency? There is so much noise coming from both sides. It is absolutely unbelievable. You have people that are literally saying the Clarity Act is going to regulate, make cryptocurrency pretty much a lot more secure and give it a lot more of a purpose. And then you have people on the opposite side saying, hey, the Trump administration just wants to make more money, and this doesn't really stop crypto from, being anything. Crypto is not backed by anything. So at the end of the day, cryptocurrency is still, it's a digital asset. Even if we pass a Clarity Act, which can very much have, like, SoFi is a prime example. You can hold crypto with SoFi, but let's go ahead and say that you have other banks starting to hold cryptocurrency pretty much, right? At the end of the day, it's not backed by anything. So cryptocurrency is still the biggest scam and the biggest risk out there. There is so much friggin' noise from both sides. It's hard to be in the middle. It really is. And I try to zoom out and I try to really look at both sides of the argument, but it's so friggin' hard to be in the middle because both sides bring up really good points. Cryptocurrency, the bearish argument among crypto, right? It's not backed by anything. Bitcoin, send it down to 30,000. It's not backed by anything. Send it down to 15,000. What's stopping what's stopping Bitcoin from going to 5,000? What's stopping it? Okay? Prime example. Then you have the other side, the bulls, aka Tom Lee on CNBC. Bitcoin's going to be $250,000 once this cycle is over. So if we are in a Bitcoin downward cycle, 3 years up, 1 year down, right? And let's say next year Bitcoin goes up, you're talking 27, 28, 29. Tom Lee has stated, very bullish, that Bitcoin's going to be $250,000 at the end of the next, Bitcoin cycle. $250,000. Like, that is a bold friggin' statement. Bold indeed. Really bold. $250,000. So, the thing about this, in my personal opinion, I don't know who's wrong. I don't know who's right. I really don't. But here is what I'm willing to do as me personally. What I'm willing to do is give some exposure to crypto. I'm okay having some exposure. I am not okay with loading the boat on cryptocurrency to the same as, let's say, AMD. So obviously Coinbase, very small position among, you're talking Ethereum. I really despise how Webull honestly breaks them up a little bit. Because theoretically this account is 52,900 plus 1928. So you're talking 50. Is it 54? I think my math is completely off. You're talking about $54,000 this account, right? More than halfway to 100K. I'm okay with having exposure in the cryptocurrency field. I think, for me personally, I think it's totally fine to have a little exposure. Now, for me to have, let's say, a bigger amount of exposure, that's when I would really have to wait until December. But I'll go ahead and say this. If we are in a cryptocurrency cycle, what does it mean for Coinbase? It means Coinbase is going a lot lower, okay? Coinbase is forming now a quadruple bottom. That is, that's actually not super. A lot of people may argue that's super bullish. It could mean one or two things. It could mean that we are having a very hard time breaking out. It could mean that the bottom for Coinbase is in, or it could mean that Coinbase is very much going to break, is walking on thin ice. Okay, so if Coinbase breaks 140, which we hit back in February of this year, we hit also back in Liberation Day of last year, we hit back in September of 2024. We're going to be going to 115, ladies and gentlemen. And then we could also even go very much lower. Like, imagine if Coinbase goes all the way down to 2022. Like, that would just be terrible. That would be terrible for my position. Oh, that would be fucking bad. Who really knows? At the same time, cryptocurrency, aka Bitcoin, I mean, hey, if theoretically Bitcoin were to go down, you're talking to $30,000. We got a lot of room to move down. So, for anyone out there that is in cryptocurrency and you would like to leave a comment down below, you're more than welcome to, especially if you made it this far into the video. Bravo if you did. I do ramble on, but like I said, real talk. I can't make a short video because there's so much to cover. I am going to be doing live streams on this YouTube channel, just really talking to a lot of people. It's always good to really get like a good group of people really talking about stocks. Obviously, oil is very much going higher today, but cryptocurrency, I'm okay with having exposure to crypto, but overexposing myself, that's not for me. There are cryptocurrency bulls out there that they are very, very heavily in crypto. They're buying the dip on crypto, buying the dip on Bitcoin, buying the dip on Ethereum. Very big buying the dip. Who knows? You know, I mean, hey, maybe Bitcoin doesn't bottom in December. Maybe crypto, we're gonna, you know, go to the upside from here. Only time will tell. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for watching this far into the video, especially if you did. As always, please thumbs up this video. Subscribe for more content. And I will see you all tomorrow, hopefully with a shorter video, right? Later.